Oh, hello everyone. Thanks for taking time to listen. I got this video, the information that's coming from this video, I went to Google, and then I went to AI mode, and then I typed in how Joe Rogan used sensationalism to gain from Yeonmi Park story. So that's how I got this information. Just as a warning, sometimes there can be mistakes. Hope those are minimal here, but I don't want to just disregard it altogether. And a lot of times there's some good information. So here we go. Right, critics argue that Joe Rogan utilizes Yeonmi Park's sensationalized accounts to validate an anti-woke, anti-left, and anti-authoritarian political narrative. While North Korea's brutal reality is well documented, experts and journalists note that Yeonmi Park's extreme or unverified claims serve as a convenient vehicle for Joe Rogan to push specific cultural agendas. 1. Paralleling American higher education with North Korea. On the Joe Rogan Experience, episode 1691, Yeonmi Park claimed that her time at Columbia University mirrored the indoctrination and brainwashing she experienced in North Korea. The agenda. This allows Joe Rogan to criticize elite Western universities. The framing. It frames mainstream progressive discourse or cancel culture not just as a disagreement, but as a slide toward totalitarian dictatorship. 2. Amplifying extremes to confirm biases. Yeonmi Park has made claims that are heavily disputed by historians, North Korean experts, and fellow defectors, such as alleging that North Koreans have no concept or word for sex, or that citizens are executed on the spot for simply watching a Western movie. The agenda. Joe Rogan frequently targets mainstream media for being untrustworthy. All right, the framing. By platforming Yeonmi Park's sensationalist claims uncritically, Joe Rogan presents her as an unfiltered truth teller being suppressed by corporate media, reinforcing his narrative that independent podcasts are the only source of real truth. 3. Merging defection with contemporary U.S. culture wars. Yeonmi Park's transition into an American conservative activist allied with groups like Turning Point USA, coincided with her introducing modern American grievances into her narrative. For example, she used her platform to claim she was mugged during the George Floyd protests, while bystanders prevented her from calling the police. The agenda. Joe Rogan uses these stories to validate his skepticism of modern social justice movements, urban crime management, and progressive governance. Right, the framing. Using a survivor of actual totalitarianism to critique Western social policies elevates standard culture talking points into a matter of defending freedom. Right, sensationalism for audience. Engagement independent analysts suggest both figures benefit from a mutual ecosystem of high stakes alarmism. The agenda. Hyperbolic content drives massive digital engagement and algorithm reach. Right. The framing. Framing the current state of Western society as an apocalyptic precursor to a North Korean style regime creates an urgent, must watch narrative for Rogan's listener base. Thanks for listening, everyone. As a reminder, I got this information using artificial intelligence, so there can be mistakes. I hope those are minimal here, but I'm not too super familiar with this information to be able to identify those, so just keep that in mind. But thanks for listening, everyone. I think I learned something from this, and I hope you did too, so take care.